Hoops Nation, James Mooney here with the legendary 2 of Syosset that started a spreecast that everyone misses. We got
Dan Budick,
Jake Asman.
You should remember them. We just had our championship night here in Syosset for our fall season. We had we had at least the heavy favorite, UnStuck, and we had the very unlikely Hooligans, who had maybe 2 wins this season.
Well, they went on a run later in the year, but it looked like early on that they were going to be just around the bottom of the league.
So let's talk about how does a team like that even just make it to the championship?
Well, it starts with rebounding. You know, they did a great job rebounding the basketball in the playoffs, and that's what got them there. And really the team chemistry too. You know, they added Sam Bobley and they went on a run, and we know how good Sam could be when he's going. He's able to score 25, 30 a night.
But is he a gift and a curse?
Jake, you could go. I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say a curse. I think he's a gift. I think he's a great ad.
Yeah, he gives them good scoring, and then you have Tom DiMaselli on that team. You got a lot of guys who can score the basketball, but tonight they ran into an UnStuck team that just has 3 dominant players out there on the court, and Garrett Johnson scoring as many points as he had tonight. I think he had 22, led the team in points, 4 3-pointers. Then we already talked about Mastro and Massia down low, and not many people can guard those guys, and they're on the same team.
It's unfortunate that the Hooligans had to take on UnStuck in the championship game because they've been playing really well, but UnStuck every year they're just among the top in championship contenders.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's unfortunate for basically every team in the league because it seems like UnStuck is in the championship every year. Every season, and maybe that's why people are sick of the league because they dominate so much. But the bottom line is this: the way I truly feel is that there's so much talent out there.
I agree.
And there's so many players not playing in the league for whatever reason that you just got to go out there and get guys.
And there's been, in the couple of years I've been here, there's been a lot of teams that beat UnStuck.
Yeah.
The thing is they don't stick. They play a season here, they play a couple of seasons there, and they disappear. UnStuck every year has the same group of guys. Pick a few guys on the outside to help them out, and that's why they're always good. There's not another dominant team. We see Ken put a team together, there's proper punishment.
Yeah.
They don't stick. They're there for a couple of seasons, and then they end. But UnStuck every year, every season, they're putting out a championship.
Well, that says a lot. It says a lot about their commitment to the league, but going off of what you just said, Dan. When you can put a team together year after year, season after season, you know what they're going to be. It starts up top. I mean, you already said it, but Massia and Mastro, then they find guys to play with them that fit their playing styles. And you mentioned proper punishment from a couple seasons ago, and obviously Ken Kerner and Brandon Dominic, they always seem to have a good team. But once again, UnStuck just proves that at the end of the day, they're still going to be there, and another championship for those guys.
So now my question is, because we have the Northeast Playoffs and Championship January 10th. Should be a great addition for the league, for you Hoops. Now, we have the winner, UnStuck, playing the winner of Westchester, which is the Bombers, another undefeated team that, you never know how good a team is compared to other teams because they don't play against each other. So it's really, really hard to gauge that. But I won't go into who I think will win because I really think it's a very evenly matched game. But based on what you know about UnStuck, how far do you think they could go? Do you think they could be the best team in in all of Ultimate Hoops in Northeast?
I think they're definitely a team that could win the Northeast region. They have the championship caliber pedigree, but the only thing that might slow them down is the fact that they only have about 7 guys on their roster, and only 5 of them usually are able to show up to games depending on the day. So maybe depth could be an issue, but at the end of the day, their main 3 guys, and then of course you have Craig Rallo and Steve Dukloff who do such a nice job facilitating their roles. They give them a chance against anyone. So, to answer your question, I think UnStuck and fair against anyone. Obviously, I haven't seen the teams in Westchester and New Jersey, but I'm sure they're going to be very competitive teams. But based on what we see here in Syosset, there's no reason why this UnStuck team can't compete with any team they face.
I agree. What do you think?
I think I agree with Jake. I mean, I haven't gotten a chance to see, obviously, because I'm here in Syosset, the other teams play. But I think just from watching UnStuck for all these seasons, when they're deep, and if everyone's there, which you think everyone would be in a national championship game, I think they're a team that could really, that's just so threatening. Whether it's shooting threes, rebounding the basketball, down low, and post, they're so great at all aspects of the game. And at this level, when you have all those pieces together, you're going to win a lot of basketball games.
Yeah, I mean, now the funny thing is, you say like their depth might hurt them, but they run better than maybe
Very true.
any team I've seen because it's a rebound outlet layup, and it's
Very quick.
one after another.
And you see it with their experience. They play so well together. So they'll get the rebound. They already know where everyone else is going to be. They do that quick outlet pass, as you just mentioned, and a couple seconds, either Master or Massey, they're taking it right to the rim. They kick out to Garrett Johnson. He's knocking down another three-pointer. Yeah, they're just so explosive, and if you take the foot off the pedal for just a second, they can blow right past you. So obviously they're a team that can compete with anyone, and whether it's a team in Westchester, New Jersey that's facing them for the right to be the regional champions, they're gonna have to make sure they bring their A game the entire game, because we just talked about it. At any given moment, they can just take off and score 10 points and go on a big run.
I mean, take tonight for instance. The score was what? The score was 16-12 at one point. UnStuck was winning, and the next thing you know, it's 28-14. And the game's over. They're blowing it. They're blowing by them.
And I feel like today they coasted.
Yeah,
they didn't really
it's
try
true.
hard. And if they really did, I think it could have gotten a lot uglier.
I agree.
I think it would have been a 40-point game.
Well, the thing is when I saw that they lost to them, that they beat the Hooligans by 20+ points just a couple weeks ago, I was thinking, we might be looking at that same game, because just in a few short weeks, it's the same guys in this league. It's tough to beat UnStuck. Even once in 2 week period.
Well, the thing about, absolutely. The thing about UnStuck, just getting back to them and what we've been talking about this whole roundtable right here, is when they get going, it's tough to beat them. To beat them, you got to play a perfect basketball game. You miss free throws, you have some bad fouls, you turn the basketball over, you allow them to get into a fast break situation, and we talked about it. They're so explosive, they're going to be able to make plays.
So now, away from the court, let's talk about you guys. Everyone in Syosset, as well as Minnesota, Allen and Reed, they talk about it all the time. They loved the Jig and Dan Spreecast. They loved it. And you know what? I wish I was around to see it. So I'm curious to know, is it going to be back?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's something that we used to do, but there's a lot going on right now. I don't know. We kind of shifted away from Spreecast in the last couple of months.
Well, the thing with Spreecast is when we were both seniors at Syosset High School, it worked out great. Now we're both at Ithaca College, so when we come back, we came back last Wednesday night. The first game, of course, is the championship. Yep. Next league season doesn't start up for a couple weeks. We already start going back to school, so it just hasn't quite worked out for our schedule to be able to do it. But we're happy we're able to be here tonight to watch the championship, and of course up in Westchester to watch the regional tournament.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's great to have these guys because they're great media guys. They're great personalities. We will definitely be looking to use them when they are back from college.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, we got Scott Farrell too.
I saw that. I did see that on the site.
Working the mic in Montville.
We got to get Scotty here. We got to get Scotty Farrell here. We got to get Syosset. We need Scotty Farrell here in Syosset.
He's got the greatest radio personality.
He's got the great personality. He's got the great voice. I mean,
he's just so great to listen to.
Yeah, and I think just when they're clicking on all cylinders,
what's up team to beat?
I think they could be the best team in the Northeast. It's just they have the pieces. They really do. They don't have that standout big guy, but they don't need it.
You got the big three. You got Massey and then Garrett Johnson from the outside.
Even Rallo on the outside, big four.
And you look at Johnson, he's arguably the best shooter in the league right now, so he's so pure from the outside. And then we already talked about, but when they get the ball inside, they're just so aggressive, so strong down low.
There's no one that can guard.
It's tough to guard huge big guys, and they're so athletic like they are down low.
There's been very few guys that have come through here in the last that really play that are able to guard Mike Mastro consistently. It's just they're too tough to guard. And then you put together Massey and Mastro and double trouble. Yeah, it's not fun to deal with. And I think Jay Harris and Hooligans can tell you that tonight.
Have to learn the hard way. Absolutely. So that concludes our fall season here in Syosset. We still have Montville playing their championship game January 7th. It's been pushed back due to the holidays. But, I think I speak for myself and for everyone else here. It's been a great season. We're looking to see if UnStuck can carry on the momentum and go possibly
hopefully they do
13-0, whatever it is.
They represent Syosset well.
Represent Syosset there, so it should be interesting to see. So, James Mooney signing off along with
Dan Budick.
Jay Gasman.
Thank you.